Hi, welcome along, and here is a classic game of chess that I just played. So I just played this on Lichess. My opponent is 2106. I can prove that to you, but I'd rather just hide the details of the game because I'm going to come up with an exercise for you. Now, why are exercises any good or not? And this tournament runs till New Zealand time, 12 o'clock, I think, 12 o'clock. So why are exercises good? Well, this is the reason why exercises are good for your play. So I'm going to move through the games of the opening, or the opening part of this game, rather quickly. And I was going to turn the media music off, but I'm going to leave it on now. I just decided. So here we go. Let's have a look at this game, okay? Here we go. Now I have to arrange it first, and we're already. So I'm going to go through the technical parts. We're both gone berserk mode. Now if I go, I can't actually even show you, but we have both gone berserk mode, my opponent and I, in this monthly classical arena. Okay, so we have both gone berserk mode, which is 10 minutes each, and no increments. So here we go. Let's have a look. F4. Okay, so now I'm opening the game up, and I've got, sorry about my mouse there. I'm opening the game up, and I have these bishops all of a sudden in the French defence pointing the other way. Now, Nimzovich would be quite surprised. These bishops are pointing towards the king side, not towards the queen side. Although I can make them point towards the queen side, because this bishop is pointing towards the queen side. Okay, moving on. So I want to open up the game, and this will help me in the later stages, or not. Maybe I will lose. I don't know. But I'm just going to keep on reiterating to you the importance of doing puzzles, doing problems, even though they look like they're silly. It's like exercising. If you're a runner, you go exercising, okay? And I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch very shortly at 11 o'clock New Zealand time. So if you want to go have a look at that, and I'll probably play round 2 then when I start that. But I don't know if I have to, but I probably will. Knight b3 is very tempting for me to play here. I'm going to play fg3 first. fg3, and now it's very tempting for me to go, and I'll be honest, I'm very tempted to go a5 here, okay? I'm very tempted to play a5 because I just want to ping the knight on b3 to make it go back to maybe d2, or maybe it goes to d4. But I had to just say, no, David, you're going to develop. So I played knight bd7. Maybe bishop g4 is better. In fact, it looks better to me. Bishop g4 looks a better move than my move knight bd7. Because this way I'd take 3 moves altogether to get this bishop and knight out. Okay, so here's knight bd7. Not bad, but I think if I look at this game now, I think maybe bishop g4 is a bit more assertive. And then knight d7, and then I can think about where I'm going to place my queen. Obviously, I'm not going to place it on this e file because it's a bit hot. So here we go, knight bd7. So I was thinking maybe black's opponent will look at this e6 square and think, oh, try to hop a knight into there, or here, or something like that. So I was aware of that. But here's d4. So this this counters my knight bd7 move, in that I now have my opponent wasting a move by playing d3, and then later on I'll move 12 d4. So I played knight e4. Also another undeveloping move. It's not developing. It's looking at g5. So there's no bishop g5. And it's looking to place this knight here. And then the support of the bishop or something, and king over to the cush, blah, blah, blah. You've all seen that before. So move that mouse off that cushion, David. So here's knight df6. So white's just played their 16th move, bishop e3, and nearly have they completed their development. This is a pinnacle part of where I was wanting to distract myself and go wrong. I was distracting myself. I was thinking, I want to play, do I want to play knight g4, or do I want to play bishop e5 and knight g4 and all that sort of stuff? No, I went queen e7, and I'm now developing with the threat of this knight on e5. And my opponent plays rook c1, which is a little bit scary looking, because if I play bishop e5 here, if I play bishop e5 here, okay, if I play bishop e5 here, I better stick to this one, then d e5 and knight g4, queen e5, and then bishop e4, and then all of a sudden this rook can come into c7 with possibly some devastating effect. So as I said before, I've made the position quite open, haven't I? So moving on, just a bit of housework there. Bishop e5, I take the pawn. Ouch. And now, as you can see, there are 3 open files and 1 half open file. White has lost 1 pawn, but they get a half open file out of it, which is namely this d file here, and these ones are both open. There's no pawns in the way, and this one. So there's 4 files for white, and there's 3 files for black, but black's got a pawn up. So moving on, bishop d4. So I think maybe bishop f4 was a wee bit more scary for me, because I was wondering what to do next. So bishop d4, where would you place your queen? I mean, you're going to place your queen somewhere, aren't you? So where would you place it? I placed it on a terrace or tarash. I placed it on this knight d2 sort of setup for white against the French, on that sort of square where the queen likes to go, so that she goes back to queen d6. This is sort of a theme of that. Now comes knight c5, a little bit kind of really open in this game, isn't it? So I played b6, and looking at knight e4, then then knight e4, and batten down the hatches, because it's quite an open position, which is okay, but it's a little bit scary. I ended up with 1 minute 17 seconds left on my clock, and my opponent started to drag the clock a bit by ending up on 4.04. So knight d3, which now maybe threatens to go into e5 or bishop e5. Maybe bishop e5 is the idea here. Okay, and so here I played rook a e8. Now it's a bit of a sort of like a kind of catch-22 about which way do I go. Do I play this move, or do I play that move? So it's a lot of times in chess, as you know, flip-flop. or else toss the coin almost of which move to play. Which do I want to defend? Do I want to defend e5? In this case I do. So knight f4. And so what would you play? I played a secondary move with a minor piece, which is bishop g4. Here comes queen b3. Now notice everything's attacking my d5 pawn indirectly, and also white has possibilities of bishop e4 maybe, and queen d5 or knight d5 or something to that effect. So I played king h8. Now here I'm not sure if I like white's move here, but white didn't know that, nor did I. h3, I went back to bishop f5. So now my plan early on, my opponent's fallen into it. My plan earlier on is to play to play f4 on whatever move that was, about move 7 or 8, and to soften up white's kingside pawns. Okay, so now white's only got these two pawns here, you see, and one of them has just moved. So here comes king h2, and so I played the very basic and obvious idea. I played here g5. Now this said about some tactics, I'll tell you, because like it's a sort of like a it's not even a coin toss. This is now all of a sudden I have to defend. I'm not even attacking g3, David, because the queen is on it. So this is probably a mistake, g5. But stay tuned, or stay chickened. I go king g8, knight f6, knight f6, bishop f6, probably the best way to go for white. And now I play queen f6, and here's rook f1. This is more annoying, I think, than queen d5 check, which is offering white the opportunity of bringing their pawn back into their kitty jar. So here's rook f1, which is a little bit sort of painful. So what would you do now? And I have to soon go to Twitch soon. So what would you do now? What's the sort of thing you're going to play now for white, for black, for white? What are you going to do now? Panic! Yeah, I know. It's panic time. Here I played this move here. Now, this is setting up the position for... There's going to be a g4 move, isn't there? White's going to play g4 and queen d5. So I played rook e2. Okay. Now this, first of all, pins the bishop to the king. Okay, with this rook move. Secondly, it threatens things on this on this 7th rank. Okay, even though these pawns are in the way of the actual absolute 7th rank. And it threatens some other things too, which are quite nice. So here we go. So this is why one wants to do exercises in chess. It's just like, if you're a runner, like I said, I will reiterate, if you're a runner, you go running up that hill and have to do exercise, even though you don't really want to. Well, I'm not saying you don't, but I might be talking about myself. But I'm talking about history as well. So here's queen d5, and I'm just going to go out of the way here. I could play queen e6. Maybe I can. Maybe I can play queen e6, but I played king h8. Now g4 is coming. g4 is coming. What am I going to do next when g4 is coming? g4 is just there. Okay, what am I going to do? And it might actually be unsound after g4 what white can actually do. But g4 is coming, that big train. So what do I do next against g4? Can you see it? So this is your puzzle for the day, and then I'm going to go onto streaming on Twitch. So I might have time to put this on the YouTube chess channel that I operate here for you. So this is your exercise. Move 31 g4. What do you do about g4 as black? Do you lose your queen or bishop on f5 because it looks pretty tender, doesn't it? Or what? So here, just to show you, is my opponent's move is g4. So what next? I look like a Jaffa today, don't I? The orange and black. It looks like Jaffas. Okay, so this looks a bit sort of like scary, the whole thing. Very, very scary position, isn't it? So what do you do next? Resign? Panic? Lose? Resign? All those sorts of things. Now, I'm not saying that this is sound, but it certainly skewed the game, which is this following move, which is bishop e4. Okay, now, this might have been played wrong here. But the thing is that it's quite scary for white, and probably a bit scary for black as well. White played queen e4. What did I play? What do you think I played? So this is why I keep on going on and on and on and on about do puzzles, do problems. They're just like exercises in chess. They just really are, even though some of them look really stupid. They just make one think outside the square or help you with that sort of concept, and also with your resources and creativity, as I mentioned yesterday. So here queen e4 was played, so I played queen d6 check, and now the queen is on pre. Yeah, so king h1, I remove a pair of rooks with rook f1, and now of course if bishop f1, big mistake, because then I just play rook e4 takes queen and rook takes e4, and it's pretty well over. So white played correctly with rook f1, and here was rook e4, bishop e4, and now I played queen e5. Now bishop g2, queen b2, and here comes a mistake. I think this is a mistake. I don't know. It probably isn't. Probably white can hold this. Rook f8 check. King g7. Okay. Rook d8. So can you finish it? So rook d8. Can you finish this game? Very simple. I hope you can see it. So rook d8. What can you visualize for white? That white missed. I mean, what can you visualize for black that white missed? It's not too hard, so it's just good to be able to see it over the board. So rook d8, here we come. This is move 38 for white. Rook d8. Okay, rook d8. Rook d8. Because the rook has to go away. If the bishop was, I don't know, can we set up a sort of like a stronghold for white here? Maybe if we got a bishop here, and then we can have a rook here and take this pawn or something, but it's still going to be careful. So rook d8, and here came, I was going like my friend with this position, and I went this move, queen c1, queen c7, and here my opponent resigned. And so that's the end of the session. Hope you enjoyed that, and all the best with your chess, no matter where it's at. And thank you for viewing. I'm glad you checked in. Bye for now. Thank you for your support. Bye.